Good afternoon, good morning. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to give it just another minute or two for more participants to join, and then we're going to get started. All right, we will go ahead and kick it off. Welcome to the July Crew Control office hours. I'm Kelsey, Senior Product Marketing Manager for Crew Control, and then we have Scott, the Product Manager for Crew Control, to walk us through all of the new features for the last 2 months and to talk to us about those updates. Just some quick reminders before we get started. You have down in your Zoom tools the Q&A function. Please feel free to drop any questions or comments that you have in there throughout the webinar, and we will address those either throughout the webinar or at the time at the end that we have set aside for those. And we will share out a recording within 24 hours, usually same day, just in case you want to share with anyone else on your team or if you need to leave early today. And then just like usual, keep up with the insider emails that come out every month to sign up for our next office hours, which will be in September. So with that, I'll go ahead and kick it over to Scott for the product updates.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm excited to share what we've been working on the last couple months. So we'll be covering some scheduling improvements. We've added the calendar map to the day view of the calendar. Products and services, we're heavily working on this area. So you're going to see import-export improvements, columns and filtering, images and categories. So a lot of improvements with products and services, and that really leads to just helping with billing and making improved professional looking proposals and invoices. So within sales and billing, we're going to show you how to add line items by category. That's a new feature we've included with while invoicing. We've made some mobile layout improvements, and then we'll cover customer PO numbers with proposals and invoices if you're working with commercial businesses. Once we're through that, we'll open up the questions just that you have out in the field. I'll go ahead and dive right in. So we'll just kick this right in a gear here. Share my entire screen. All right. Well, first up, I want to show you our scheduling improvements. So if you didn't know, there's two ways to access the map, but prior to our changes. It's either viewing a route by going to the day and showing using the show map option. That's going to plot your route for the day. That's going to have your drive time analysis. You'll also currently, this is already in place, be able to view and analyze all of your jobs for a given week on a map. And so this icon is a folded map, if you weren't aware, and it is clickable. And this will take you to a really powerful scheduling tool, which allows you to see your full week of jobs, as well as anything that's unscheduled, and you can adjust based on these pinpoints. So this was in place already. We've repurpose this tool to be available on your day view. So now instead of picking off days of the week to a specific day, we're to allow you and redirect you just to the day you're looking at from that day view, and you can analyze which crew you would like, maybe compare it against anything that's unscheduled. And we can see Wednesday we have a job around the area of some of our unscheduled jobs. This map view, I can zoom in, I can click, I can do a one-time move to place it on crew 1 for Wednesday, or I could edit that recurring job and do it for future visits as well if it's a maintenance job. So it's a nice ease of use. It's going to make it really simple to just go out to a future day, click this day view map, and just get to the day that you're looking for instead of going to the week and then picking off to the day you're interested in. So real nice change, going to be a real powerful scheduling tool for you. And we're excited about it. So next up, we've been focused a lot on products and service improvements in general, just to help with billing, to help get into services that require a lot of materials, um, and help you manage those material prices and costs, and just being able to find it when invoicing. So when we go to products and services, I've kind of showing you everything we have now, and that's under the column picker. So you can go to the columns, you can pick and choose what you'd like to see, what you need for your price book management here. But we've included images, categories is a new one, and we've had some others that are kind of recent as well, so cost and price. So from this view, we've allowed you to export your products and services quickly. So that's just going to create a CSV of all of my product and service details. This could be imported into another system. So if you're looking to convert to QuickBooks and integrate, you could do that. Or you could open up the CSV, make modifications, and re-import it. And so that's going to be nice if your vendor costs change and you want to adjust your price quickly. You can do that outside of Crew Control, re-import and adjust those materials and your prices quickly. That export's going to be exported based on what you're filtering and searching. So if you want to just search for a particular vendor or particular type of service, you could add a filter by category. So we'll just do all of our landscaping products and services. You can filter now by certain price points or costs. So if your cost is, you add a markup, anything that's, under $200, maybe you have a 20% markup. You could filter to a specific, your products and services under a specific cost range. Less than 500 here. I'll do that. I'm not sure if I have anything here. It'll probably be empty list. I actually do. So I'm just going to pick up my mulch here for landscaping under $500. I can remove that and find any of my products and services under $500. I'll be able to export this list as well. So anything that's just filtered, and edit those, re-import it. So it's just going to be a nice way to quickly update your products and services in bulk. So we kind of covered, filters, columns. Filters is new. We gave you maybe one use case you could use it for, but there's a wide variety. So you're gonna be able to filter on anything that's cost base, your vendor costs, your sales price, your markups, your margin, and categories. Let's cover categories. So in order to add a category, so most of you probably under categorized unless you're using QuickBooks Online. I will say products and services area won't be available for anyone using QuickBooks Online. You'll do this within QuickBooks. You'll be able to add your categorizations, your description, your cost, and we'll pull those into the Crew Control. So from within Crew Control, whenever I edit a item, I can add an image. I can specify those categories. If I don't have a category already, I can start to build that. I could also, from the top right corner here, be able to manage all of my categories. So you can see some for landscaping that I've added. So I've maybe have a separate category for all of my services versus maybe my materials, my trees, brick, stone, mulch, be different subcategorizations. So we're allowing for unlimited number of parent categories, unlimited number of subcategories. You can get really crafty on how you want to segment and categorize your items, and that could be by vendor, it could be by material type. If you're dealing with materials that have some aesthetic coloring, you could group them by color. So you're going to know better than we do, but we know this is going to really help you out. And so what that unlocks, once you have your items categorized, again, you'll be able to filter by those categories, update by categories quickly. But from the billing side, we've made those improvements. So whenever you create an invoice, let's say we're doing maintenance for April here, from our billing area, so we've completed this work, starting an invoice for April. And when I scroll down, I have my mow, but let's say we've provided mulch for this service as well. So instead of just adding a line item and searching for mulch, that's what that's kind of the typical process. We've introduced adding by category. So if you're dealing with a large number of variety of materials, you can look up by category. So I'll click this add by category option, and I'm going to be able to navigate my category price book here. So I'll go into landscaping. It's going to filter my items to services and materials for landscaping. I'll click mulch. It's going to filter to all of my mulch items. I can then also search if I have several types of varieties of mulch, or I'm looking for a specific type of mulch. I can also search by name and description within this area. Once I'm here, I'll click add. I'll add my mulch. Uh, I can go back up a level to have any trees. No, I don't, but I've got a fall cleanup. I can add a fall cleanup. I can add a tree removal, hit save, and that's going to populate all of those items that I've looked up by category onto my invoice and quickly help you build those invoices. We've talked through the service, so let's take a look. So I can edit this item directly. So for anyone using QuickBooks Online, you'll be able to edit that QuickBooks item. We'll be able to upload an image, and that kind of shows maybe that aesthetic value or the coloring to match whatever's going on at that residence. So here I've got my mulch. I've got a tree removal, fall cleanup. I'm going to remove this credit. Looks like this account already had credits for an overpayment, and I'll create this invoice. Let's do 1 here, do another 200. All right, so I'm gonna create and sending this invoice for April. Once it's created and I view the customer's invoice, they're gonna see a new layout. They're gonna see the images within the products and service area. They'll be able to click it, view that full size. The other improvement we've made is in order to introduce images, we had to really take a close look at our mobile layout. And so you're going to see a better structure to that mobile layout. We're not showing labels anymore. It'll just be your name and description, amounts and quantity for each item. So we've cut down a lot of the height. It's going to be lots of quite a improvement on when viewing invoices or proposals on a phone. It's going to look great. So even in this view on a mobile device, I'll be able to click and see a full size image of of that product or service, close out, take a payment. So you're going to have a lot more space to provide a lot more detail than we've had before. So I've touched on most everything products and services related, and some of the improvements we've made to our proposals and invoices. Another one that was a common ask, especially if you're working with property management customers, is this PO number. We've introduced a way when I send an email with a PO number here, that subject line is going to include the PO number, so they can quickly look that up in their email inbox. If it doesn't have a PO number, we're going to have the invoice number in that subject line as well. From the sales area, part of our plus package, proposals now accept a PO number and the same deal. So if I send this proposal to a customer, the PO number will be in the subject line. If it doesn't have a PO number, we're going to show that proposal number in the subject line. So allow them to quickly look up that proposal by a number, especially if you're working with a customer that has multiple proposals out there, be able to quickly find and search it. That's pretty much it. I mean, I know my team's also been doing a lot of just technical improvements. We've been doing a lot of upgrades to our, backend libraries, our testing and automation. We're looking at a lot of ways we can use AI to develop now. It's not just hype anymore. It's really powerful. So I'm really excited for the next couple months. With that, I'm going to open it up to questions. What do y'all have?
Yeah, we had a few come in. First one looks like maybe a little issue with their map. It says my map is just a blue screen. Is there something we are doing wrong in the job setup? We do not have latitude and longitude in the customer profile, just address.
Yep, you'll want to fix that. You'll see a little warning icon here at the top or at the bottom left of those job cards. You want to fix that customer. So this will take it to usually a fix it's. Sorry. This one's a previous job warning, previous job warning. You'll want to edit the customer. That fix it'll tell you too that you need to, it'll take you to that customer record. You'll want to retype and reselect the address so those Latin longs get populated. It is based on Latin long, our drive time analysis and our map points right now. I'll take that back as feedback because we should be able, if there isn't a Latin long, be able to accept the street address. But right now we're trying to serve also areas that don't have a mailing address, whether that's a field or if it's a new construction. So just how this works too, you can click within a map. So if it doesn't have a mailing address, which happened a couple recently, you can click within and navigate within this map, double click, drop a pin, and that's going to affect that Latin long as well. So if you're not finding it in that search, it's probably an address that just isn't registered yet. Hopefully that helps answer the question. But unfortunately, right now, you're going to have to just go through and fix those customer addresses, reselect from this drop down to provide those Latin longs.
Thanks, Scott. Next one, products and services are not available if we have QuickBooks integration. Is there another way to view the parts in Crew Control besides inside a job?
Right now, it'll be within a job or invoice. So if I go to billing, create invoices would be another way. I'm going to be able to access all of my categories. So I'll be able to search by category from my QuickBooks categories. I'll be able to add a new QuickBooks item by using this add new products and service item. But yeah, we don't offer right now a way to currently manage your or view all of your products and services within Crew Control. It'll be just one by one from now within either a job, proposal, or an invoice. That's feedback I take back to the team. If we do offer that, it'll work a little bit differently just because we can't do quite the same updates to QuickBooks using their API, but maybe there's a limited view we could do.
Next one, currently there is a limit to 25 in the optimized route feature. Will this be increased?
It's a great question. We've looked at it. We under the hood we use Google. They're just amazing at optimizing routes and it has the best quality. Other services we've looked at that have greater than 25 just haven't been as reliable. Google has recently introduced an API that is greater, that allows us to optimize greater than 25 jobs, but there is a pretty challenging price to that and how to incorporate that into our plans. So we would take a cost, we'd have to figure out how to incorporate that into our pricing. And it just isn't right now. Doesn't make sense right now. So we're still considering it. We're hoping, as Google evolves into opening that up into different types of businesses, whether they'll change or have a different structure to their billing. But right now, it just doesn't make affordable sense for us to even offload that cost to y'all. It is a per optimize click cost for that type of tier. So we're still trying to figure out a way we can do it and pull that off. There would be limits. There might be additional pricing that comes with that, but that's kind of where we're at. So if you are, folks hitting that limit, there are folks that are using other services and kind of working with Crew Control with that. And that's kind of what we're dealing with as well.
Thank you. And then last one that has come in so far. Is there a way to show when a crew has been to a given location during the day, like geofencing? Sometimes customers call and feel the team wasn't there, but they had been there.
Right now, it's a good topic for us. So that's come up quite a bit. My best recommendation is having your crew take a photo of the site at the time because those are timestamped photos, and that way you could provide that document either using the daily details report and having photos, your files from crew here, print that to a PDF, send it to the customer. That's going to really let your customer know and be comfortable that your crew is there because it has a timestamp photo. That's the best we've got for kind of giving that level of confidence, building that level of confidence and trust with your customer. It's worked out really well. So I'd say if you're not doing that, take more, have your team take more photos. Um, I'll also take that back to our team to be able to capture, maybe a pin of when they've checked into that job. It's come up quite a bit. I would say that's a great topic for our ideas portal. Just keep putting it in there, voting on it. And that helps us, understand, the need and value and kind of offset, the technical cost and time we invest in it. Because there is going to be a technical challenge, and there'll be some steps for your team to enable um, tracking of their location.
Thank you, Scott. Looks like our next two that came in were about QuickBooks Online and invoicing. So that first one, when you send an invoice in Crew Control and I am connected to QuickBooks Online, is the customer payment flowing through QuickBooks or Crew Control?
It depends. So if you're enabled with Crew Control payments, you'll have that option. So I'd say whenever you're emailing and you're enabled with payment processing, so if your delivery is email, they're going to have that. It's going to be available to pay based on these options that you have set, credit card or ACH. And I'll just take a look. So if it's emailed to them, that's the option. And they'll see an invoice like this. You'll have to be enabled with payment processing. We only offer that for US if we have anyone in Canada right now listening. Otherwise, we've seen folks use that intro text to provide payments by a link. And then if you're just wanting to collect payments with QuickBooks, you can create invoices using Print as a delivery method and then resend those out via QuickBooks. So it's up to you on how you do it. It's going to be easier and more integrated using Crew Control's payment processing, but I understand there's circumstances where that doesn't make sense.
Thank you. And the next one, is there a way to sync invoices to QuickBooks Online without sending the invoice out by email in Crew Control?
Um, let's see, so that would be that print option. So I'd say create an invoice print, and so that's going to create a invoice both in Crew Control linked and synced to QuickBooks without sending it out to that customer.
Awesome.
Hopefully that answers that question. I think that's usually the route I would go.
Awesome. Looks like that's all the questions for now. Leave it open for another minute to see if any more come in. But if that is all that everybody has for today, then we will begin wrapping up. Just a reminder, you will receive the email later today or early tomorrow with the recording for today's session if you need to review any parts of it or if you want to share it with anyone on your team. That will come directly from my email. So if you have any questions that have come up in the meantime, feel free to shoot those over to me, and I can work with Scott to help get you an answer. And otherwise, we will see you in our next insider emails and see you live in September. Scott, I think that's all for today. So everybody else, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.